Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Mid-Atlantic Tech Bridge Tech Talk as we have Dr. White here from the CyberBytes Foundation speaking to us about what he's doing there at the Academy. I ask that as we go through the presentation, if you have any questions, to put those into chat, and we'll leave some time at the end for Q&A. Also ask that you leave yourself on mute, your video camera off as we go through this. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Roy Weiser to introduce the Mid-Atlantic Tech Bridge.
Hello, everyone. Roy Weiser from the Mid-Atlantic Tech Bridge. On the slide you see there, at the bottom, we have 3 team members: Gerald Walker from NavalX Atlantic, Julie Stark from Carter Rock Norfolk Detachment, myself from DAMNEC activity, all local commands down here. The purpose of this Tech Talk today is to provide you with information regarding the CyberBytes Foundation. It's one avenue that we have, and we have other tech talks that we talk about specific needs from the warfighter and trying to match them up with companies. In fact, today at 1300 to 1500, we do have what we call our industry days, industry briefings. We do them on the 2nd and 4th Wednesdays of each month. And if you look at that QR code that's in the middle next to the LinkedIn stuff, you can find out and schedule a meeting there anytime during those times. And without any further ado, I'd like to turn it over to 757 Collab and Tina Bove from C5BDI, their subcontractor.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Again, Tina Bove, and everything we do here at the Tech Bridge wouldn't be possible without our PIA partner with 757 Collab. So 757 Collab is the umbrella to those 3 pieces you see down below. So there is the Startup Studios, which actually just kicked off with a new cohort today. And they do 6 months of programming. They get access to this beautiful building we're in here in downtown Norfolk at the Assembly. And then we also have 757 Accelerate, which is also just kicking off in terms of identifying the companies that will be participating in that 12-week intensive course, $20,000 of funding giving to those startups that work with 757 Accelerate. Again, unfortunately, right now, there is no applications being accepted, but this is a yearly program, so you'll be on the lookout for that. And then 757 Angels is the VC arm to 757 Collab that works closely with the Accelerate. All these programs have great LinkedIn pages, so you can follow them on LinkedIn to see what they're up to. So without any further ado, I am going to turn it over to Dr. White to talk to us about CyberBytes Foundation and what he's doing at the Academy.
Hey, thank you so much, Tina, Roy, and Mid-Atlantic Tech Bridge, just for the opportunity to come here and speak to you all today. Just to start with, again, my name is Dr. Frederick White. I'm happy to be here. I am with the CyberBytes Foundation. And for those that don't know, the CyberBytes Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit with the mission to establish and sustain a unique cyber ecosystem. And so we're focused around education, innovation, and outreach programs. And so that's what I'll talk to you about today. So again, you can look at our agenda. At CyberBytes, we're all about leveraging education, innovation, and outreach to really strengthen the cyber workforce. And so today, I'm going to talk about our mission. I'll spend a little bit of time talking about the overview of our programs, our CyberBytes Academy that's really focused on fueling education, our American Cyber League, or our ACL, which really focuses on fostering innovation, and then our Quantico Cyber Hub, which is really focused on amplifying outreach. And so even have an opportunity to mention our Crossroads program, which really focuses around some of the core components of outreach that we've really identified in and around our region. So next slide. So just a little bit about us. Again, we're a 501c3. What we do is we offer multiple programs throughout the foundation to really achieve the mission that I've kind of mentioned already. We're located in the state-of-the-art technology center, the Quantico Cyber Hub. That's a 30,000 square foot center in the Stafford County, Quantico, the hub zone. And we also have at the Quantico Cyber Hub a sensitive compartmented information facility, a SCIF. And this really allows for some of those classified meetings to research at the top secret level to really occur at the headquarters. So let me start with what we do through CBA. So really talking about the CyberBytes Academy. But before I start talking about the Academy, what I really want to do is to highlight the risk, the shortage, the gap that currently exists, because all of the programs that we have are really focused around solutions. And so the Academy is really our focus on how do we fuel education. And when we think about education, we're talking about empowering minds and really building a resilient cyber workforce. I don't have to talk to you all very much about the growing cybersecurity skill gap that's in and around the environment right now. And so there's a struggle for organizations at every level, industry partners, government partners, to locate qualified personnel with the proficiencies to really mitigate and respond to cyber attacks. And so this is the gap. And so when we talk about education, this is what we're really focusing on addressing. What's our solution? Our solution is the Academy. And the Academy really aims at educating students, providing cybersecurity skills, and really assisting in providing the training necessary. And we do that in a number of ways. So when we begin to talk about education, fueling education, we start with some of our academic institutions that we're partnering with. Institutions like Norwich or Shenandoah University, or even Total Cyber Solutions. And we work with them to identify the gaps, but then do the mapping from some of the education training certifications that our learners kind of get to really the pathways in and around the cyber arena. And so what skills, what are the micro credentials that are needed and necessary? How do we build and stack those micro credentials to show that this person has the knowledge, skills, abilities to enter and or transition to the work field, the workforce, and do the job? We also have after school programs. So we're partnering with several school districts in and around the area, and then internships, relevant job skills, and even career planning that occurs through a consortium of partners related to cyber, related to AI, and even quantum safe. So that partnership is key. But we also offer a lot of certifications. And so again, this focus on cyber, AI, quantum safe, even GRC, governance, risk, and compliance, leadership, all of these areas are areas that we offer certifications. And so we have a comprehensive certification, training labels, actually offered over 60 different types of certifications in partnership with some of our world-class organizations. Organizations like Teal Space, organizations like 327 Solutions, and others that don't just focus on the training, but also focus on learning and the job competency. So when we have an applicant, we have somebody that's taking classes with the CyberBytes Foundation, we're focused on ensuring that they're prepared and ready to enter the workforce with all of the necessary skills and the training necessary to work. And so even our post-exam coaching and mentoring are things that we offer to ensure that they're ready and prepared. We also offer a testing center. And so we have a testing center on site, 12 seats that's PSI and Pearson VUE certified, all able to provide a benefit to our learners. And finally, is the training piece. And so we really have had a vested interest in the mission success of the United States Marine Corps and then other service arms and to DoD. We support the compliance on the DoD Cybersecurity Workforce Framework, now known as 8140. And this really is how we work to provide industry recognized certifications. And so with our industry partners, we're very careful to deliver world-class training events from leading content providers like Asaka, CompTIA, Cisco, Microsoft, the EC Council, ISC2, Amazon Web Services, Red Hat, NetApp, Project Management Institute, Dell, F5 Networks. I mean, I can go on and on about our partnerships, but that's one of the values is that as it relates to our education, we combine that education with opportunities directly related to the industry and the industry needs. So this just provides just a summary and an example of some of the ways that we are fueling education at the Academy. And so this is an idea of some of the summer camps that we run. Summer camps like gaming camp, where our students will build the entire gaming computer. And so not only do they build the gaming computer, but when they leave the camps, they actually take the gaming computer with them. They take it home. And it's the same thing with our 3D printing camps. And this is in partnership with Steam Bridge and even with Code Ninjas, some of the partners that we're working with, just to continue to host our successful summer camps. Again, specific to the 3D printing camp, when you have now kids, learners, high school students, middle school students that now have a 3D printer at their disposal at their home, the learning doesn't stop. So when we talk about how do we fuel education, how do we fuel that desire to keep moving, to grow related to cyber, AI, and quantum safe, we're giving them the tools. We're helping to build the tools, the knowledge base with them to where when they leave, they understand kind of how to, we have students that understand how to put the computers together now. They understand what the memory is and how I can upgrade my memory, or I can where the motherboard is, and all of just different, all of the different components that go into their learning. We also have AR, VR programs, drone programs, and programs in robotics. And so just to let you all know, on November 8th and the 9th, we will have a Youth IT Cyber Day. And this is where we partnered with several of the school districts in and around our area to invite hundreds of students to come to our site, provide activities to further fuel the desire to enter the cyber workforce. Next slide. Also under CBA is our Crossroads program. And this is where we're really connecting to the community. If you think about Crossroads, the words that come to my mind is Crossroads is a comprehensive transition ecosystem. And so when I think about a comprehensive transition ecosystem, I say, well, what does that mean? Well, we've identified the areas where people usually have a crossroad. When you get to these areas, there's an opportunity for you to be successful. If we get it right, if we're providing you with the knowledge, the skills, the understanding, the resources in and around these areas, then you're going to have a successful transition and you're going to be more successful. And so some of these areas are education, employment, entrepreneurship, housing, health, and transportation. And the idea is that through CyberBytes Foundation, that Crossroads would be a one-stop shop for all of their transition needs. No matter what their transition is, they'll be able to go through the Crossroads programs and identify with all of the services that are available in and around the area. So you might ask, well, who are we focused on? You know, I understand the transition programs, but who are we focused on? And we really look and focus on 5 different populations: veterans, their families, caregivers, and survivors, first responders, the underserved population, Gold Star families, so also associated with the military, and then women. And so again, this is a comprehensive transition ecosystem. It relies on the partnerships with all of our community partners. And it's to provide holistic care, comprehensive care to the people that we've identified that are most in need. Next slide. The next piece of what we do is really to foster innovation. And when we start to talk about fostering innovation, we're thinking about innovative partnerships for a secure cyber defense. You can see that underneath that title, we're looking at really two different areas. How do we safeguard the digital infrastructure? And then how do we also ensure, then what's our solution? How do we then safeguard the digital infrastructure? What's our solution to the problem? So let's start with the problem. The problem is this, that there's a rapidly evolving cyber threat landscape that presents challenges to existing cybersecurity measures, which are compounded by a lack of collaboration and resource sharing. No one organization can address all of the cybersecurity issues. So without a coordinated approach, organizations face obstacles in really fully leveraging the potential of the emerging technologies. And so this is where we believe that we offer an asset, and that is through our American Cyber League. We believe in the power of collaboration. And so through the league, we've assembled a consortium of like-minded organizations to bring innovative new research, tools, methods, approaches to inspire creative, groundbreaking, and novel solutions. And I really liked, again, what was happening through 537 Collab, and how they looked at the ideation, they started to think about the problem, they helped to develop prototypes, they produced the products, but then had that customer discovery. So being able to talk to the customer, understand their needs, make sure that those prototypes and the solutions were actually responding to the needs. That's very similar to the process that we use, because any solution that's developed has to be applicable to the field. It has to be meeting the real needs of industry. So assessments that allow us to understand the needs of industry and then be able to design solutions that are meeting those needs. Our capabilities really include, so we focus on several areas like AI/ML, 5G, cyber ranges, modeling and simulation, emerging technologies, and then we're even doing a lot in the esports arena. Again, the idea here is we're taking and identifying industry and or government specific problems. And then through our partnerships, through those collaborations, we got companies that are working together to solve these bigger industry problems. Next slide. And so here's just some examples of how we've done that in the past. And again, many of these examples are happening in and around the Quantico Cyber Hub, which we'll talk a little bit about. But just bringing these key and critical partners together to solve problems. And so that might be some of the women events that we're doing, or any number of events that we may be hosting to bring industry-leading experts to the table to talk through and solve these problems, identify solutions together. Next slide. So the last component of what we do at CDF is really amplifying outreach. And this is where we're connecting those experts, connecting all of the tools, connecting that education component and the resources for cyber excellence. And all of that happens in the Quantico Cyber Hub. So let's start with the issue. And the issue is there's complexities in the current digital landscape. And so today there's a multifaceted strategy that's necessary to defend against breaches on all fronts of your IT environment. You can't just have one approach. And so by pulling together the expertise, the tools, and the resources into a comprehensive solution, we actually are able to reach those solutions, identify those solutions together. And so that's why the Quantico Cyber Hub was formed. It was formed by CDF, or the CyberBytes Foundation, We bring in some of our, again, industry partners, industry leaders like Inside Public Sector, to give the industry a place where subject matter experts come together with all of their processes, with their capabilities, to really customize solutions and accelerate the implementation of advanced cyber technologies through experimentation, innovation, research, and application. And the Quantico Cyber Hub really allows the opportunity to do that. But right now we're in phase one of kind of the overall vision for the Quantico Cyber Hub. And that's the 30,000 square foot building that currently exists. But phase two is to actually have an advanced data analytics center, what we call the Cube, which is going to facilitate additional research, innovation, and experimentation. And finally, that's going to lead us into phase three, which is really going to be a cyber expo and conference center to be able to offer even more space. It's a larger facility with additional open areas of augmented and virtual reality training, workspaces, lab facilities, all focused around cyber, AI, and again, quantum safe. Next slide. So again, when we talk about amplifying outreach, when we talk about the Quantico Cyber Hub, this is our current Quantico Cyber Hub. And just really excited about all of the capabilities of the Quantico Cyber Hub. Let me give you an opportunity just to kind of take a look at this. So some of the things that you'll see as we, again, look at this Quantico Cyber Hub is located at the Quantico Corporate Center. There's Cat6 fibers running throughout the building. There's an integrated Tier 3 data center with private peering access, 40 production racks with rack top technology. There's a private fiber network. So when you think about dark fiber, that's what we're talking about here. You have, we're able to leverage cloud tools and best-in-class enterprise software. There's secure 24/7 access to your racks. So when you think about redundancy or continuous backup, when you think about resilience or having immediate recovery of your UPS and power generators, when you think about reliability and having network quality, all of those things are available through the Quantico Cyber Hub. So I encourage you, if you have not visited, come, we welcome you. You're open to come to the Quantico Cyber Hub, see all of the different partnerships in action, see what the building has to offer, and to partner with CBF as we continue to move forward. So in summary, we talk about what is it that we're trying to do? And we recognize at CBF that we cannot do it alone. But with your help and your collaborations, what we're trying to do is to build a more secure future. And that's, you see here, CyberBytes Foundation is striving to build a more secure future. And we do that by fostering growth, adaptability, and technological advancement. Through those advancements, we empower individuals and organizations to stay ahead of cyber threats and safeguard their digital assets. And we do it in collaboration with all of our great partners. So again, we invite you to join us in our mission to build a resilient cyber workforce and shape a more secure digital future for all. Here's some contact information if you want to know more about the programs, if you want to get involved in some of our summer programs, if you want to be a part of our consortium, and join us as we continue to move and push forward. Again, thank you so much to Tina, Roy, for having us here. The Mid-Atlantic Tech Bridge, we're really excited about what we're going to be doing together and what the future holds.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Dr. White. I didn't see any questions come in the chat, but if you have any questions, you can throw them in. One thing and you, obviously we brought up the website, but you know, if, especially when it comes to, you know, the DoD and the cyber qualifications that come through, is that the best way, like just go to the website to figure out how to to work with you to get those qualifications? Is that the best way to go?
Yeah, you can go through the website, or you can even contact the CyberBytes Foundation directly. And
Okay.
so if you go to cyberbytesfoundation.org, or you can contact me at fwhite@cyberbytesfoundation.org. We can make sure that we get you get the right information in your hands, get you to the right people.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's good. Do you have any questions, Roy?
Yes, I had a question, Doctor. It deals with the American Cyber League.
Yes,
And
sir.
of course, the last phase is the hub itself. But if I was an organization, let's say a government organization that said, hey, I'm having a problem with this cyber effect. How can you fix it? What would be your solution? How do they get in touch with you? And what's the process? Is there a cost to that, or how does an organization pay? Maybe if you could explain that a little bit more, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, no, a great question. And again, that's exactly what the ACL is meant to do, right? Identify those issues so that we can then involve and engage our industry partners in solving that issue. And so what's the best way to reach out? Our ACL man, what I would say, just reach out to the same CyberBytes organization, cyberbytesfoundation.org. You can call me and I can definitely put you into contact with the right person. But what we're going to do is to work with the organization to really understand that need. Before you can solve a problem, you actually have to understand what the problem is. And so there'll be an assessment identifying the problem. And as we have clarity on identifying the problem, that's when we'll begin to engage all of our different partnerships, all of the organizations that we're working with, to really then think through what are their components? How do we begin to work together to really solve those problems and provide solutions? And so it starts with discovery. It starts with understanding. It will follow that same method where you'll be building prototypes. You'll be building different types of solutions that could work. They'll be tested. And so this will be an iterative process where those things will be tested with the customer to make sure they in fact fit and that are able to respond to the problem. And then as we then build those solutions, then we'll think about if those solutions can be scaled. Okay.
I do have it.
Okay, yeah, I'll bring this up. Yeah.
Okay, so let's take it from the other perspective. A company, small business, do cyber defense, and you mentioned become part of the consortium and the collaboration team. Now, when I do that, do I have to be local to the region of Stafford, or can I be down here in Virginia Beach or Norfolk or on the West Coast or in Silicon Valley? I mean, how does that relationship work, or is it all virtual? Or if you could just give me a few words about that.
You know, I love the question. And again, it's now, as we begin to think about the virtual world, as we begin to think about cyber, we know that cyber, AI, quantum safe, those things aren't specific to one location or one region. Those are problems that we often share. And so when they're interested in getting involved with CyberBytes Foundation, they can be anywhere. I mean, we have partners across the globe. You know, some of the things that we're doing and some of the ways that we're building out solutions aren't specific to the DMV or the Virginia area. You definitely can be in Norfolk, Virginia Beach, or any other place across the nation. And so the problems don't change, and the problems aren't specific to region. And so we're really interested, again, in that same process. If it's a partner that wants to get involved, we're interested in working with the partner. If they have a problem that needs a solution, we're interested in walking through what that issue is, and then working with our partners to really identify and solve those issues. And we welcome even training. We welcome any of the training challenges. right? So when we think about how we provide training, sure, we have a facility, the Quantico Cyber Hub, that we can provide training, but we have a host of training partners that will travel to different places all around the nation to provide the necessary training for cyber, AI, leadership, project management, just the comprehensive training that might be necessary depending on the organization. And so I would tell them, give me the problem. I want to solve it. I want to be challenged. Pitch me a problem that I can't solve. And then let's see if we don't have the partnerships already in place to provide some solutions.
Okay, and the last question, as long as nobody else has, or do we have some up there?
No.
Okay, one of the questions that I had is that you mentioned the educational.
Yes, sir.
I think it's a tripod, yeah, basically. And the education piece talks about certifications. And don't you have some programs up there at CyberBytes Foundation that allow for certification of what types? And I've heard that they're free at times.
Yeah, so we again recognize that a part of our mission is outreach. And so what we really stay focused on is how do we provide these opportunities to some of the populations, underserved populations that may not be able to afford these certifications, these trainings. So I think about even some of our summer programs. When you talk about a gaming computer, you're talking about a piece of equipment that can be, when you think about all of the pieces, and they build these computers from scratch, right? Like they start with all of the pieces of the computer across the table, and then piece by piece, they work to build a computer. But that's $2,500 to $3,000 worth of equipment. But we provide that training opportunity to the kids or to our future leaders for less than $500 each person. And that's only through the partnerships and the support that we receive from some of the organizations that we're working in collaboration with. And so in the same way that we're able to provide these opportunities to the kids, we try to provide those certifications and trainings to individuals that may be in need. So what I would say is, if there are people who, again, would like different types of certifications and would like different types of things that we offer, training, education, then reach out to us. Let us know. We always try to provide those opportunities, as many of those opportunities as we can, given the type of training. And so there's always a space to incorporate that.
Yeah, and by visiting, going up there, I want to put in a pitch for that because it's always a beehive of activity, something going on. And those problems that you mentioned, some of them are novel from three-letter organizations up close to the DC area. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing how you see how CyberBytes Foundation can reach out to somebody at NVIDIA, let's say, and get an answer to a complex question that's really been bugging people for a long amount of time. Mm-hmm. So yes, I would take them up on that if you could.
We did have a question coming.
Okay.
First, I will ask while we're sitting here and Dr. White answers this next question from Daryl. We asked you to take a short survey. You can grab your phone and scan the QR code, or I also posted it in the chat to go ahead and, again, it's 4 questions. It helps us, look at what we want to present to you all next time. And then you can also see our upcoming events, and we are lucky to have CyberBytes back to talk a little bit more about the lab and some of their innovation projects at the end of August. So while Dr. White answers that, if you guys could go ahead and take that short survey, that will trigger us to send you the presentation. So once we see that you've taken the survey, we will send you the presentation. So I will read out Daryl, great question. So Daryl asked, as a CyberBytes collaboration member, would I have to offer an equity stake of my cybersecurity startup? It seems like training is available. Could I incorporate CyberBytes training into standard employee onboarding? Great presentation. So over to you, sir.
Hey, thanks. So the first part of that is, about offering an equity stake of my cybersecurity startup. what we're doing again, and when we begin to think about the problems, we recognize right now that there's a gap in the workforce. And so your cybersecurity startup is helping to deliver the necessary skills, training, it's helping to meet the gap. And so what we want to do is to come alongside you and be supportive in that mission. We're all committed to the same thing. And so we want to come alongside you and be supportive as we work together to design kind of innovative solutions. And so what we will invite you to do is to become a member of the consortium, to commit to working with other organizations that are like-minded and that are also focused on kind of getting to the solution. And so there is some commitment there, right? Like when you come across the doors now, you're not just representing your organization. Now we're here to work together to solve bigger, more complex problems. And so there will be some commitment there. The second question I think you had, it was really related to some of the training that's available. And if if CyberBytes could be incorporated into standard employee onboarding. Absolutely. With all of the training offerings that we have, it's just a matter of thinking through and designing a plan that best fits your organization. So without a doubt, we have all of the options that you might need or that may be necessary to train your staff or your team. And so we invite those conversations, give us the opportunity to participate in those conversations and to work together as we move towards shared solutions.
Great. Well, I think that doesn't look like we had any more questions come in, but again, we invite you to take our short survey. You can see the upcoming events and you can register for those at our Eventbrite site, which I have at the bottom, or you can, scan our Eventbrite QR code up there. But we really want to thank Dr. White for joining us here in person and sharing this great presentation with us here at Mid-Atlantic Tech Bridge. And we look forward to seeing you all on our next Tech Talk on July 12th. Roy, any other closing remarks?
No, again, I'll say, please go ahead, besides the survey, check out those pitch days that we have, industry days, briefing days.
Schedule a meeting.
And I would say the best part is our LinkedIn page. That pretty much is the hub of all of our web that we go out. And again, I'd like to say thank you, Doctor, for giving this excellent, outstanding presentation.
No, I appreciate you again. And also I have to just say thank you to the CEO of CyberBytes Foundation, Caesar. Caesar Nader, he's the reason why, I have opportunity to kind of be here and present to you today. So all thanks goes to him.
Great. Well, thank you all. And we're signing off here from the Assembly Building in downtown Norfolk.
Have a great 4th of July.